What if events went differently, and Lightning McQueen was never lost in Radiator Springs? Welcome back, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, to another intriguing what-if scenario. Today, we're finally diving into the world of Disney Pixar's Cars, exploring a pivotal moment where Mack never fell asleep, allowing Lightning McQueen to reach his destination without detour. Imagine a universe where Lightning McQueen continues his path to the Piston Cup, without the life-changing detour through Radiator Springs. How would this impact his journey, his personality, and his career? Would he remain the same self-centered racer? Or would he have other events that would push him towards growth and humility? Let's explore a world where Lightning McQueen never experiences the charm and lessons of Radiator Springs, and see how this alternate scenario changes the trajectory of his life. But before we dive into this fascinating journey, I would highly recommend that you guys consider supporting my work on Patreon and Substack. Your support allows me to continue to create more exclusive content by diving deep into more what-ifs, taking more what-if requests, and pushing the boundaries of our imagination. So again, thank you for being part of this adventure, and let's uncover the twists of this captivating what-if scenario. In the pre-dawn calm of a bustling race day, Lightning McQueen lay awake inside Mack's trailer, every fiber of his being vibrating with anticipation. The journey to California was nearing its end, and with each mile, his dreams of claiming the Piston Cup and securing the coveted Dinoco sponsorship seemed to draw closer. His thoughts raced faster than his wheels ever could, replaying every turn and every strategy that would guarantee his victory. As Mack, equipped with an upgraded state-of-the-art coffee machine, kept a steady pace on the highway, McQueen's confidence bordered on arrogance. "This is it, Mack. Just keep your eyes open and your wheels straight," he instructed, his voice a mixture of excitement and nerves. Mack, ever the faithful companion, replied with a reassuring rumble. "Don't you worry, kid, I've got enough caffeine in me to light up Las Vegas." Upon arrival, the raceway was a spectacle of chaos and excitement. Fans, reporters, and racers mingled in a frenetic dance of anticipation. McQueen, the star of the hour, was swept up in a whirlwind of interviews and photo ops. "Speed, I am speed," he recited to himself, the mantra that had brought him this far, now echoing hollowly amidst the flash of cameras. One seasoned racer, a grizzled old car with scars to show for his years on the circuit, pulled McQueen aside. "Listen, kid, it ain't just about speed. You gotta think on those curves, dance with the dirt." But McQueen shrugged off the advice, his eyes narrow with focus. "Thanks, but speed has gotten me this far. I'll stick to what I know." As the race commenced, the roar of the engines drowned out the roar of the crowd. McQueen, Hicks, and the King quickly pulled ahead, each determined to etch their legacy into the track. Hicks, notorious for his ruthless tactics, kept close, his grill a menacing sneer in McQueen's rearview mirror. "Watch it, rookie. I'm not letting some flash-in-the-pan red racer take my cup," Hicks hissed, as he edged dangerously close. McQueen responded with a smirk, the thrill of the chase igniting his engine. "Just watch me, Hicks. You might learn something." But as the laps wound down, Hicks's persistence grew more threatening. In a desperate move to maintain his lead, McQueen saw an opening and took it, with a reckless sharpness that was uncharacteristic even for him. He cut off Hicks, sending him swerving wildly. Hicks lost control, his tires screeching in protest as he collided with the King, who was caught off guard by the sudden chaos. The crash was a spectacle of sparks and smoke, a devastating ballet of twisted metal that silenced the crowd. McQueen, glancing back at the wreckage, let out a laugh that was more release of pent-up anxiety than amusement. "Every man for himself, right?" he muttered under his breath, the words tasting bitter even to him. Crossing the finish line, McQueen's victory felt hollow. The cheers of the crowd were tinged with murmurs of disapproval, the joy of the win overshadowed by the controversial manner of his triumph. On the podium, as he lifted the trophy, his victory speech was mechanical. "I came here to win, and I did. That's what racing's about, right?" But the words felt empty, the trophy heavy with unspoken costs. In the crowd, Doc Hudson's eyes met McQueen's, and the old racer's look of disappointment was a gut punch. "You might have won the race, kid, but you lost much more than you know," Doc said, his voice low and filled with the sadness that echoed in McQueen's suddenly hollow victory. The following days were a blur of superficial celebrations. Dinoco's sponsorship brought luxuries and accolades, but the sparkle of the parties couldn't illuminate the growing shadow in McQueen's heart. "Is this it? Is this what I raced for?" he wondered aloud one evening, staring at his reflection in the mirror, a champion unrecognizable to himself. As McQueen's story spread across the sports world, the narrative wasn't about his speed or his daring. It was about the crash, about the ruthlessness that had marred what should have been his crowning glory. He won the cup, but at what cost? Became the refrain, a question that haunted him in the quiet moments away from the flashing lights. Weeks later, alone in his garage with the Piston Cup on a shelf, McQueen found himself longing for something he couldn't quite define. It was then that a postcard of Route 66 slipped from a pile of fan mail, catching his eye. The image of the open road bathed in sunset seemed to whisper of missed opportunities and lessons unlearned. Maybe there was more to learn out there, on that old road, McQueen mused, a sense of regret washing over him. As the nights grew longer and the celebrations faded, McQueen realized that in his relentless pursuit of victory, he had sped past the moments that might have defined him not just as a racer, but as a friend, a student, a car worth remembering for the right reasons. The empty echoes of his trophy room whispered back to him, a reminder of all he had won and everything he had lost. After the lights dimmed on his controversial victory, Lightning McQueen found the once exhilarating rush of racing had turned bitter. The Piston Cup sat on his shelf, a reminder of what he had sacrificed for its shine, integrity, and respect. The racing community, once his biggest supporters, now whispered in corners, their eyes reflecting a mix of disappointment and reproach. Attempting to salvage his public image, McQueen threw himself into the whirlwind of sponsor obligations and charity events. Yet each smile for the camera was a grimace, each autograph a reminder of the crash that haunted his dreams. The questions never stopped. "Do you regret what happened at the raceway?" echoed in his ears, no matter how far he drove away from the track. In this turbulence, McQueen found an unexpected anchor, a forgotten champion whose career had ended not with applause, but with a scandal. This old racer, living quietly away from the limelight, saw in McQueen a familiar fire, one that could either destroy or forge anew. "Racing isn't just about being the fastest," the mentor mused one evening, watching the sunset paint the garage in golds and ambers. "It's about knowing the track, yes, but also knowing yourself." Under this guidance, McQueen learned to temper speed with strategy, aggression with awareness. He repaired old bridges, reaching out to those he had wronged, starting with the families of Hicks and the King. Publicly, he addressed the race, his voice sincere. I was wrong. I won at a cost I no longer want to bear. With a new race on the horizon, McQueen's return to the track was met with skepticism. Yet, as the race unfolded, it was clear this was not the same McQueen. When a rival spun out, echoing that fateful race, McQueen didn't speed by. Instead, he slowed, ensuring the safety of his fellow racer. This act, simple yet profound, marked a new chapter for him. As the race ended, McQueen's position was secondary to the standing ovation he received. Winning back the crowd, he realized, felt infinitely better than any trophy. The real victory was the respect regained and the legacy he began to rebuild. Months later, McQueen found himself on Route 66, not as a racer, but as a pilgrim seeking wisdom from the asphalt and the endless sky. There, among the echoes of engines and ghostly cheers, he found peace. It's not just the finish line that matters, he thought, gazing at the horizon. It's the road that takes you there. With the Dinoco blue still proudly displayed on his chassis, Lightning McQueen embraced his role as Dinoco's star racer. The sponsorship had brought him not just fame and resources, but a renewed sense of responsibility. As the World Grand Prix invitation arrived, McQueen saw it as a chance to demonstrate Dinoco's commitment to innovation, sportsmanship, and integrity on a global stage. Before departing, he turned to Doc Hudson, his new mentor, whose wisdom had once reshaped his path. "Doc, I need you more than ever," McQueen admitted. "Teach me not just to race, but to honor the legacy you've built and the trust Dinoco has in me." Doc Hudson, though older, was as sharp and insightful as ever. He agreed to accompany McQueen to the Grand Prix, providing guidance and refining McQueen's skills. In the weeks leading up to the event, they focused on more than just speed. Doc taught McQueen about adaptability and racing with an awareness of his surroundings, skills crucial for the diverse and challenging tracks of the Grand Prix. As they arrived in Tokyo, the first city on the Grand Prix circuit, McQueen felt a mix of exhilaration and nerves. The bright lights and unfamiliar terrain tested his resolve, but with Doc's steady presence, he was reminded of the lessons from Radiator Springs. During a pre-race event, as McQueen navigated the complexities of international fame, Doc's advice kept him grounded. "Remember, it's not just about how fast you go, but how you go fast," Doc reminded him. The races began with the usual spectacle, but it wasn't long before McQueen and Doc in this timeline found hints of a sabotage plot aimed at discrediting the Grand Prix's promotion of alternative fuels. With Doc's encouragement, McQueen decided to investigate, believing that protecting the integrity of the sport was as important as any trophy. Each race brought them closer to the truth, with McQueen balancing his responsibilities on the track with the detective work off it. Doc's insights into racing tactics and ethics provided McQueen with the perspective needed to navigate this dual challenge without losing his focus on either front. The climax of the conspiracy and the Grand Prix coincided in London, where McQueen's skills and character were put to the ultimate test. In a thrilling finale, McQueen used everything Doc had taught him, not just to win the race, but to outsmart and expose the villains attempting to sabotage the event. His actions safeguarded the future of alternative fuels and proved that true champions think beyond the finish line. Triumphant and vindicated, McQueen returned to Radiator Springs with Doc and the rest of his team. Dinoco's leadership, impressed by his dedication and integrity, reaffirmed their sponsorship, proud to be represented by a racer who valued honor as much as victory. Inspired by his journey and the continuous support from Doc and Dinoco, McQueen decided to expand his influence beyond racing. He established a foundation to support renewable energy initiatives and continued mentoring young racers at his academy in Radiator Springs. Racing is about more than just speed, McQueen would often say, echoing Doc's teachings. It's about how we can drive change, both on the track and in the world. And that is going to be it for this video of What If Lightning McQueen Was Never Lost in Radiator Springs. Now, what did you think of this Disney Pixar's What If episode? And if you guys did enjoy, let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see next. What scenarios would you like to see? What franchises would you like to see crossovers? I'm excited for anything. But that being said, my fellow watchers, thank you so much for checking out this video. Do make sure to subscribe for more, and I will see you in the brand new What If episode. Take care and have a fantastic day. Peace out.